Hello students, welcome again to the learning of chapter 7 about Python. My dear students, this is part 3 of this chapter. In this part, we will understand about the control structures and conditional statements. Control structures are specific statements which lets any particular statement to be repeat or to be skipped. Sometimes in the program execution we need to execute a specific statement for more than one time, that is called repeating the statement, and sometimes we need to skip any particular set of statement based on any condition. So we can achieve these things, repeating or skipping, with the help of the control structures. Repeating is further known as iteration, and it is done by using the iterative statements, and skipping can be performed by using the conditional statements. Let us know first how many types of statements we can have. So we can have three types of statements: sequential statements, conditional statements, and iterative statements. Sequential statement is the plain program which you have written till now. Sequential statement means a program which is executed from top to bottom, one by one, every statement. Here no conditions are there to repeat or skip the statements. In conditional statement, the execution is based on a condition. The operational statements can be of two types, where one representing yes and other is representing no. So based on the condition, if the condition result is yes, what action will be performed, that is statement set 1, and in the case of no of the condition, means false of the condition, other set of statements will be executed. For example, if PIN is entered, you can withdraw the money. If PIN is entered incorrectly, you cannot withdraw the money. Means you can withdraw the money. The condition is you have to enter a PIN, and that PIN must be entered correctly. If the PIN is entered correctly, you can withdraw the money, otherwise you cannot withdraw the money. So the one course of action is you can withdraw the money, that is statement set 1, and another course of action is you cannot withdraw the money, that is statement set 2. So which will be followed, that is depending on the entered PIN. If it is correct, any particular set of statement will be executed. If it is not correct, any other set of statement will be executed. So this is all known as the conditional statements programming. Iterative statements, these statements repeat a set of statements for a specific number of times as long as the given condition is true. Yes, with the help of this statement, we can repeat any particular statement for more than one time for a specific number of times. You can say 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. So that is depending on a condition. If the condition is true, the statement will be repeated. Otherwise, if the condition becomes false, the repetition execution will be stopped. So let us know the conditional statements. To understand it more well, let us see this flow chart drawn here. Start, go to the ATM and enter the PIN. So PIN is entered. After the PIN is entered, it is checked, it is entered correctly or not. There can be two answers: incorrect PIN, correct PIN. So in the case of correct PIN, withdraw the money, that is the output. In the case of incorrection, means the condition becomes false, then the execution is you cannot withdraw the money, and after then from both the ends the program comes to stop. So in this way the conditional statements work. We can have three types of conditional statements, that is if statement, if else statement, if elif else statement. The if statement is used when there is only one condition to check, and we are knowing that what to do in the true case of this condition. Means only statement set 1 is known what to do when the condition will become true. If the condition becomes false, then this particular course of action will be skipped, means the program will jump from this statement to here. It will skip the statements written just after the if statement. As you can see here, the value of A is taken, the value of B is taken. Now it is checked if A is equals to B. So if A and B both are equal, this condition will return a true. If both are not equal, it will return a false. So if A is equals to B, means when the condition will return a true, it will print the message the numbers are equal. And when the condition will not return a true, means A and B are not equals to each other, it will skip this particular set of statement, and from here whatever you have written, that will be start executing. So this particular set of statement will be skipped. The another variation of if conditional statement is if else statement. If else statement we can use when we have one condition to check and we are knowing well what to do in the true case of the condition and what to do in the false case of the condition. Both the course of action is well known. So what to do in the true case of the action is written just after the if statement, and what to do in the false case of the condition, it is written just after the else statement. Only statement set 1 or statement set 2 will execute. Only either of the statement will execute based on the condition's result. So if and if else both are used when there is only one condition, where if is used when the condition result is true, what to do it is known, and what to do when condition result is false, it is unknown, undefined. So we can use if condition in that situation. When we are knowing both the things, what to do and what not to do according to the condition's result, then we can use the if else statement. Both the statements can be used for checking one condition only. Now if there are more than one conditions to check, then we can use the if else statement. You can see in the structure two conditions are placed over here, and condition is always placed with the if statement. Here elif is the short form of else if. Okay, so let us understand its syntax. A condition is placed. If the condition result is true, statement set 1 will be execute. If the condition result is false, you know well, it skip the set of statement and jump to the next part, to the elif part. Elif means else if. So else is there to receive the false case of the condition, and if is there to place the new condition. So when the control jumps from here to the else part, one more if is there to check the another condition. If that condition result is true, statement set 2 will execute. Otherwise, if it also becomes false, it will jump to the else part, which will be executed when all the conditions becomes false. So when all the conditions becomes false, the program, the control jump to the else part, and the statement set 3, which is written with the else block, that will be executed. So you can see here A and B, both the values are taken as input. Now it is checked. If A is greater than B, it will print A is greater than B. Otherwise, if this condition will becomes false, it will jump here and it will check another condition. If B is greater than A, so if this condition will become true, it will print B is greater than A. Otherwise, if this condition also becomes false, it will jump to the else part and it will print both the numbers are equal. So means what? When A is not greater than B and B is not greater than A, it means A and B both are equal. So we can place all these statements according this sequence. Let me show you with the help of a program. So students, I am going to show you a program based on the conditional statements. Click on file, then select the command open, and I made some programs. I am showing those programs to you. So in the previous part video of the chapter, I have told you about the comments in the program. So two things we come to know: a hash symbol and 3 times the quotation marks that we can use for making the statements as comment statement, where hash is used for making one line comment, single line comment. This is single line comment. And if you want to make more than one line comment, means the comment is taking 2-3 lines, so you can put 3 times double quotation, and then you can write the comment value, the comment statements, and then again put 3 times double quotation yes, in the beginning and last of the statement. So it will make 3 line multi-line comment. Comment was what? When we make a statement as comment statement, it is ignored by the language compiler. As you can see, if I am removing, you can see I am removing this rem hash from here. Now if I will run the program, so it is showing invalid syntax. Why it is showing invalid syntax? Because every line of the program, now compiler is treating it like a programming statement. So this statement is also considered as programming statement, and because there is no definition of these words into the Python keyword library, so it is showing that it is a syntax error. Means it is considering it is to be compiled according to the language syntax. And because actually it was the heading of the program, I made it heading so that we can understand for what reason this program is created. So, and forget to place a hash symbol here. So this was not a comment because no hash symbol was placed here, and the compiler is treating it as a program statement. But when I will place a comment statement, then this line will be ignored by the language compiler. Means language compiler will compile everything, each and every letter into the machine language, and it will ignore this line because this line is a comment line indicated by a hash symbol. So if you remember then that in QBasic you have used a statement rem statement. So rem statement's purpose was same only. It was used to give the program title or program heading, or for writing some notes into the program for the understanding. So in the same way, if you want to write program heading or title, or if you want to write some note regarding some specific line into the program, then we can use the hash symbol for making that particular line to be ignored by the compiler. So now you can see I have placed the hash symbol here. Now I am running the program. It is asking for saving it, so let us save it. Now you can see the program is in executing mode. So the first statement of my program was to enter a number, so I have entered a number, so say 5. Now this program is actually for checking a entered value is positive or not, means positive or negative. So a value is set to be positive when it is greater than 0, otherwise if it is less than 0 it is set to be negative number. So here the entered number can have two possible answers: positive number, negative number. Means this number could be a positive number as well as it could be a negative number. But what is the appropriate answer we can tell by checking the number is greater than 0 or not. So if a is greater than 0, means if this condition will become true, this line will execute. If this condition will become false, this line will execute. Means the statement followed by else will execute when the condition will become false, and the statements written after if will execute when the condition will become true. So according to the entered value of a, 5 is greater than 0, so it is a positive number, it should be printed. So press enter. Now you can see in the output positive number is printed. Again, let's again run the module. Now this time I am giving -9. So -9 is the value of a here, and you can see I have used the int function to convert the entered value into integer format. You know well that input function takes all the input in the string format. we can convert it by using the int or float data types here. So -9, enter it, press enter. You can see negative number. Condition is checked, -9 is greater than 0, no, so it jumps to else part, and there it was written print negative number, so negative number message is printed into the output. So this is how the if else structure is working. Let us open another program to understand how can multiple conditions be placed into the program. So in your book, one example is given. I have created another program here based on the same pattern, the multi-condition program. This program is created in Python to display the name of color. The name of color will be displayed on the basis of corresponding color code. Means user will enter any color code that will be the first letter of the color, and the program will print that particular color's name in full. So you can see in this program a code value is taken as input. No int is placed here because the user will input the values in alphabets. So these are not numbers, not decimal numbers, so we will not place any int or float conversion data type here. So user will enter any code value that could be alphabet or first letter of the color, that will be matched. If the value of code is equals to V, it will print violet. Otherwise, if the condition becomes false, it will jump to else part, where if is there to check another condition. The whole statement is known as elif. So another condition is checked. If the code is equals to I, print indigo. Otherwise, check again. If the code is equals to B, print blue. Otherwise, check another condition. If code is equals to Z, print green. Otherwise, check another condition. Y, print yellow. Check another condition. If the condition becomes false, another condition is if code equals to O, then print orange. Print orange. If it becomes false, check whether the value of code is equals to R. If it is true, print red. Otherwise, no more conditions are left. All the possible color codes I have given. Now no more conditions are left. So if all the conditions will become false, then it will print invalid color code, which is placed under the else block. So when all the conditions will become false, it will jump to the else part and will execute the statement which is written over there, that is invalid color code. So let us run this program. You can see again I have used the hash symbol to write the program theme here. Let us run the program. Now program is running. Enter any color code. Enter any color code. This message is flashed with the input action. So provide the input. The input letter must be any V, B, G or Y. So let us first give any wrong input. So I am giving 5. So because 5 does not belongs to any color code, so definitely it will print invalid color code. You can see it has printed invalid color code here. Again, let us run the program. You can also press F5 to run the program. This is the shortcut. I am giving the color code G. So you can see G belongs to green color code. So G, and press enter, green. So in this way we can work on multiple course of actions with the use of if-elif statement. So this was all about the conditional statements in Python. Read the chapter again and try to do the programs which is given in the book with your own in your computer. If you are having computer system at home, try to run them and try to attempt the exercise questions. find the solutions of the programs given in the book. Thank you students. Stay home, stay safe.